Rob and Cat Crash, aka Nectar Rash, on elevation of the more of the best. Something about your birthday. After I rise and shine, I'm ready to shoot my shot like it was gunplay. You heard from the rest, now hear the words from the best. Who has the character and caliber of Nectar Rash? Something about your birthday. And when we meet, your only homework from last week is to be elite. Be discreet about the faith you build upon when we speak. Dr. I to call the T's and be complete to reach a peak. Something about your Monday. And when I rise to flourish, my mind is nourished with words to help me find the courage to stay on my higher purpose even when I get nervous. This is sort of like church for us because it's about service. Something about your Monday.
What up? What up? What up, world? Tap. I'm Compression. This is the Monday Jump Off number 172. Hey, hope everybody's having a smooth Memorial Day weekend. To everybody who served, I salute you. And to everybody who lost a family member or a friend in military service, salute. That's technically what Memorial Day is about. But, it's become a thing of just, having a good cookout and enjoying yourself and hanging out and barbecuing and picnicking and going to the beach, etc. But, the real meaning behind it is actually a moment of respect for those who were in service in the military. Hope everybody's just being well, being smooth. So today's Monday Jump Off will be about, grow your brain power and just some good things that we can do to make sure our brain keeps flourishing. But before I get into that, I want to talk about Mezura Creations and definitely pick up your US cards. Incredible card game. I can't state it enough. Go to MezuraCreations.com. Hit the link, get your pre-order right now. Mezura Creations. We have some other good things coming out your way. And I just want to salute my team, clan, just for being incredible divine beings and just making sure things happen. Also, in the description box is just everything you need to know. Everybody I support, everybody that supports me, check them out. We got real estate brokers, we got doulas, we got recovery centers, we got health and wellness centers. So yeah, in that description box is a lot of good information. Click the link. The Big Chief Solar Ra, who does my theme song, his link is in there. Definitely check his music out. And yeah, it's just a lot of good stuff in that description box. I want to talk about also, I want to mention Temple of a New Solstice, June 23rd. Basically, it's just Black culture, community, and all around Black brilliance that day. So come through, support, go to templeofanew.com, get your information for that. And hopefully I see everybody on June 23rd. For those who like to do obstacle course racings, I also will be doing a Spartan race on the 22nd. I think I'm the 1:30 p.m. heat. So if you get to hang out and hit in and you see me there at Citi Field in Queens, definitely we can flick it up. We can talk about things and just grow community. Got my brother in here, Hassa. He said he was talking to my little cousin today about expanding his mental power so that he can expand his money. This is right on time. Right. Send it his way, definitely. But beyond money, we're going to discuss the overall health of the brain, right? So, and then we'll add in the money aspect for sure, because money's a tool, but it's not the leading factor of why we should grow our brain power. Want to just jump in something, talk a little sports real quick. What about those Celtics? What about those Mavs? So we're going to have a Celtics. Looks like I'm predicting Celtics Mavericks championship. And I think it's good for the sport. I think is shout out to Kyrie. he balling out this world, and it's I can't wait to see that. I'm actually gonna watch all those games. I'm not as big in sports as I used to be, but I do check the playoffs of every sports. So I'm predicting definitely Celtics Mavericks championship game, and I think it's going to be really incredible. A lot of really good basketball going to be played, and if you're ready to see the sport at a high level, definitely tune in for that. MF Doom is getting his own Marvel canon. So MF Doom is the MC from Brooklyn, and he used to wear the mask. Just incredible, incredible. I remember he gave me, or somebody in his mask looks like him, right? Body wise, gave me his album by Webster Hall, but that's a whole nother story. And way back in the day, way back. So shout out to MF Doom and his family getting into that Marvel canon. Like that's big for hip hop, to have a hip hop artist of his caliber and just who he was get his own canon in Marvel. So that's real dope. So I'm excited. I want to collect that definitely and just see what they do with a real MC like MF Doom. Some movies I want to see that's coming out. We got Insidious 6, The Crow, Gladiator 2, The Joker, The World is a Stage, and Bad Boys Ride or Die. At first, I wasn't too excited about the Bad Boys movie, but then I realized I done seen all of them in the movie. So, and they all been really incredible. And I just want to see how they culminate. Something about the brotherhood that they demonstrate during that movie is just really apropos. So I'm really to see how they put it all together in this day and age, at their age now, and what their life has already been through. And as always, I'm just a big Insidious fan. I think that's some of the best horror movie stuff that's been out in like forever. So if you're into horror movies, we can definitely book a trip and we can all go see it together. And I like what they're doing with the Joker. So that's just my basic roundabout stuff. And yeah, we definitely will have that Mavs Celtics, and we got some dope movies coming out. For those who didn't get to check out the it was Senator Kennedy on something serious, the FDIC sexual harassment case. I got to really listen to that. That's really wild. What's been going on in the FDIC, and it's head turning. It's like a wild 20 minutes. And it gives you perspective how, once again, like Monday Jump Off number 171, what status without character. So if your character ain't right, don't matter how much money you have or how much fame or accolades you create, everything can go tumbling. So definitely on YouTube here, and you'll definitely find it. It's really wild what was being done, what was being said. I mean, like one guy for 6 years just sending meat pics and illicit things to one person. Like it's 6 years, So definitely, if you haven't checked that out, you need to look into that. It's wild. I know everybody on puffy stuff and everything else, but there's a lot of other factors happening in this world, and the black man ain't the only bad guy out here. But everybody needs to have justice toward them when they do wild things, regardless, right? So it's all good. So now we're getting into it. Monday Jump Off number 172, increase your brain power. What I want to do is talk about some things that affect your brain in a bad way. So we're going to go with poor diet, lack of sleep, too much caffeine, too much dopamine, lack of social connections, lack of physical activity, and lack of new knowledge. Once again, poor diet, lack of sleep, too much caffeine, too much dopamine, lack of social connections, lack of physical activity, and lack of new knowledge. So check it. The most recent data, and I'm reading off my notes because I wanted to be really direct when we're dealing with the brain and how we keep our brain nice and fluffy and agile and able to grab the wrinkles that it needs and to keep all of our neurons firing according. So I really did take notes on this one. And the most recent data indicates that 74% of adults are overweight or obese. Increased risk, I'm talking about America, right? In America, maybe even worldwide to a degree, increased risk for the development of other chronic health conditions, including cardiovascular disease, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, and some types of cancer. Also, confidence in the ability to go out and make friends and help others diminish immensely. So, your physical health, your diet, what you're consuming, the processed foods, is going to really affect you just even on a confidence level. Next, from lack of sleep, you're just more forgetful, less able to concentrate, and more accident prone. Your emotional stability and ability to handle stress are also negatively affected by poor sleep. When you're groggy, you're more likely to be angry or easily upset. The inability not to show grace toward others. Therefore, your brain is shutting down and you're just trying to preserve the little bit of energy you got. And next is just too much. What does too much caffeine do? Causes insomnia, nervousness, restlessness, nausea, increased heart rate. Larger doses might cause headache, anxiety, and chest pain. Caffeine is likely unsafe when used in very high doses. It can cause irregular heartbeat and even death. Just like the gentleman, I think his parents are trying to sue Starbucks. He went in there and brought, I don't know, 3 or 5 of those super caffeine drinks, and he drank them all at the same time. And I think the caffeine they have in them is like 300 milligrams or something like that. So I know you would think common sense is common, but it's really not, right? It's only common to those who think. So basically, he got himself up out of here, and the family is suing Starbucks, and I think Starbucks paid them out. I wouldn't have paid them out personally because, I mean, once you see 300 milligrams of caffeine on something, whatever possessed you to want to drink it, it's just a form of suicide, right? It's like a knife company paying somebody for stabbing himself in the throat, or a gun company paying a family for a person shooting himself. You decided to unalive yourself by drinking 4 consecutive teas with 250 or 350 milligrams of caffeine in it. I'm just saying that's just my viewpoint, but to each his own. But they did get paid, but they don't have a son, so I guess as always, money don't amount to human to this $14 trillion machine that we're encased in, right? Next is with too much dopamine, we'll become more aggressive and have trouble controlling our impulses, hallucinations, and delusions. So check it. They did a test that people looking for a fix, a dopamine fix, they set you up to a machine where either you can electrocute yourself or shock yourself or just sit quietly with your thoughts. And what they realized, I think it was 70% or 60% of the people, don't quote me on that number, but they chose to be shocked, to keep their dopamine up instead of just sitting quiet. Sitting quiet, they couldn't collect their own thoughts. So all that like scrolling on your phone, thing to thing, hopping from this to that, and or like all this sports gambling, just keeping yourself up and up and up and going and going and going. Nah, son, you got to be able to sit in some stillness so your brain can reflect on what's going on and you can have proper joy, right? So a lot of people are not having really good joy, good proper joy in their life. It's like AI joy basically. So and then what they were showing that this constant impulse of things, they start hyper dreaming about things that never happen, or their fantasies become so uncontrollable. It causes like, I guess we all daydream, but like these hyper hallucinations. So something really to think about, definitely going into this AI world, what's real and what's not real, right? And how these things will probably be enhancing these people who always are looking for this type of dopamine fix, right? Like this thing that's shifting their brain, but it's actually like deteriorating their brain usage, function properly. So just something to think about. You know what I mean? Um, Lack of physical activity, you know, as a personal trainer. But before I get into that one, let's go with lack of social connections. The less people you interact with, the more you sit alone for too long. You're not building. You are actually shortening your lifespan. Shorter lifespan, increased sensitivity to stress, and a heightened stress response when you don't have good social connections. I'm not talking about being on these phones, on Facebook. You need actual human social connections. But most importantly, our brain goes when we're able to speak our philosophy to other people with a different view. It allows us to reflect on what we're saying and how true or false it is, or if we're living in our own fallacy, right? And it gives us more understanding into a vast world of people where you're just not talking to yourself. You still need stillness, but you also have to have good social connections for a happier life. We are communal creatures, but most importantly, too, if you have a philosophy or an idea, that's how you bounce and that's how you grow. And that's how you really see what your philosophy and ideas are made out by talking to other people, right? So social connection is very key for your brain health because we only going to get far as the people we associate with. We only get far as the people that talk about us, and we only get as far as the positive things that they're doing and the positive things that we're associated with just by default, and that's social connections. Um, so never forget that. And also, too, just with anything, the lifespan. Once your friends and once like your grandparents' friends, this, that, and the third start passing, kids go away, the human beings just start going like, I'm good on this. I'm good on this. You can just shorten your lifespan by not having good social connections. So just something to think about. Remember, even a lone wolf, I think he's only a mile away from the pack. And when they move, he moves together on the outskirts. So even a lone wolf ain't alone. Just a thought. Um, but now, physical activity. What's really been wild when you think about physical activity, talking about you can't teach an old dog new tricks. There's been reports 65 years and up, if you just walk 3 times a week, going a longer walk, longer than a mile, 3 times a week, you increase your brain plasticity to learn things. Keeps you sharp and all that type of sweat, cardiovascular, keeps you sharp, keeps you wanting to learn and grow. It makes you keeps your brain pliable. It's a deep thing. Um, but without physical activity, you're more likely to get Alzheimer's disease and other form of dementia. Walking 3 times a week decreases Alzheimer by 30%. If you're six, if you're 65 and up, it has showed a decrease in Alzheimer's by 30%. just walking. So imagine if you just did 30 minutes a day, got some sweat, then you did your morning read, then you had your tea or your 1 cup of coffee, ate your breakfast, and then went to work. The brain is firing, it's ready to go, and you had your time, and now you can go give your best to the world. It's very, very important. The amount of fitness related to your brain, your physical health, and your brain health, it's like one and the same. It's really deep, balance both out, right? Next, next but not last, lack of new knowledge. Not having new experiences and learning new things will slow your brain down and make it less responsive. It's just automatically begins to slow your mental faculties. Now I know we all got grandmas and aunties and granddads and uncles, and they might say shit like all they need is the Bible, or all they need to read is the Quran or whatever, or then I got to stick with those two because those are the primary black religions in the world. There's 1 billion on each side. So this ain't a history class of how we got those things. It's just what it is. But just know when a person says that at any age, it is straight 100%. And I mean this as respectfully as possible. It's straight 100% fuck shit. You need other material for your brain to grow. And you need to be able to test your philosophy against other things. It's not a battle of your faith, it's not a battle of your belief, but your brain begins ultimately to shut down when it's not getting any new information at all. And I'm talking about across the board, meaning like it's cool that a person read a particular thing all the time. That's fine. That's your faith. Thumbs up. Kudos. Ha. But you got that spectrum of knowledge and understanding, and then you have the other end that don't read or listen to nothing. That's another detrimental thing. Like you only know as much as far as your, let's just say, your 8 block radius or your 6 block radius. That is death of the brain. That's going to kill your curiosity. That's going to crush your imagination. And that's just going to stop your will to want to succeed or be better by default. And then your brain is just dying. You're actually becoming brain dead on both ends of those spectrums. Kind of deep. So, with all things in life that we learn here, we tune into the Monday jump off. You gotta have that balance, man. Have that balance. I'm not saying you can read whatever you want on a religious or theocratic note. I think you should, if that's your belief, and I think you should read something of that daily. But to be like that's all what you do, or that's all what you don't do, you're impeding your brain. You're making it actually, like, I don't want to say shrink, but harden, where it should be moist and fluffy. Like you're making it get like a rock, where it's not able to recognize new things or even the context or comprehension of things. It's a real deep thing how the body works. Like if you don't move it, you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Literally. So things that can help your brain, you got to eat more whole foods. Lay off that processed stuff. That's you, me, that's everybody else. Watch your sugars, things like that. And if you do need sugar, get it from fruit. Eat your vegetables, eat good proteins, your chicken, your fish, especially some fish. Get those omega-3s, good avocado, healthy fat, etc. I really like a lot of stuff in the Mediterranean diet. I'm not a dietitian, but I do just think like eating clean like that is good. And I'm also a big fan of seasonal fast, at least 3 to 7 days. Every season change, you should do like a liquid fast, and just don't let your body flush. I'm super big fan of that, and I'm a really big fan of at least a 2 day fast, 2 day personal fast of just like team water for your birthday. I think that helps. Like just 2 days before going to self, cleanse yourself. All you're doing is just brushing your teeth, taking a shower, releasing your waste, drinking water, drinking like peppermint tea, drinking liquid chlorophyll, just like really cleansing yourself out. You'll thank me later for that. Next, more experiences. You got to travel, meet new people, try new things, create new ideas. Now, I'm not saying you got to do like a friend of mine. He's going all over the place and bungee jumping. Like he's jumping off every cliff. I think he got one more place to go, and that's China. That's with the biggest bungee jump in the world. So he's planning on doing that. Now I'm not saying that's got to be your thing or whatever, but I do think like don't wait your whole life to try skiing or go snowboarding or go mountain climbing, whitewater rafting, skydive. Just try things or make it simple. Drive up and down the eastern seaboard, stop in every state, eat at the famous places, and just really experience where you at, and then go southern, and then you can go western, and then you can go midwest. You can just have a good time. You can make like 4 years of that. So new experiences matter. Travel, go to Japan, go to China, go to Africa. Africa got so many countries. It's just so many great places that you can develop and find good understanding in Africa. Visit Mongolia, find out what Genghis Khan did on that step, how he went from Mongolia all the way through Persia or modern Iran, and how he's like.
Tomorrow, you'll see sunny weather. You can expect a high of 83 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 61 degrees.
I love it. I love like AI always watching, right? Always. But as I was saying, how he went from Mongolia all the way to modern Iran, and he's like 3% of the world's population, like his DNA or something like that. It's really wild. But try different things, different sports, Muay Thai, boxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, like things that's tough, that's going to give you some rigor, but also make your brain start to work, make you a thinker, and also push you around different people, different cultures. And being around different people and different cultures, you're learning different things. You're learning what's similar, and then also too, you're seeing what makes you different and special, right? Because differences is sometimes it's just people's specialty that you're just not into, or it's just not part of your culture or heritage or ethnic setup. So more experiences, reading and learning new things. Next is reading and learning new things or testing your ideas. Going back to what I was saying, there's 12 months in a year. 12 months. Are you telling me you can't read 4 books a year? I really think about that. You know what I mean? That's 3 books. That's that's basically 4 books, every 3 months. You can do it. Get a book on health, get a book on finance, get a book on motivation, and get a book that adds to the philosophy of your religious belief, whatever that is, or something that you need as a parent, as a teacher, as whatever your profession is. Just 4 is not a lot. Documentaries. I mean, you ain't got to become a Rhodes Scholar, but you telling me once a week on a Saturday while you're cleaning your house, you're not taking in no information, no new information. It's madness. It's unacceptable. And anybody listening to me, that's just unacceptable. I ain't even gonna call it anything it is. It's just unacceptable living. And everybody listening to me, our goal is higher living, period. So next, create a physical regimen. Now, I'm not saying you got to be like me. I'm a trainer. I'm paid to basically stay in shape. You know what I mean? That's my career. I'm paid to look good, feel good, and be able to maneuver good and keep growing and studying on how to make others be better and good. So completely understand, but I would say this: if you're having problems just touching your toes, walking up a flight of steps, just start with a basic walk and a basic stretch routine. And when all else fell, just learn the rule of 40. I've been doing it since 1996, just 40 jumping jacks, 40 push ups, 40 squats, or 40 high knees, 40 sit ups, 40 lunges. Just keep that rule of 40, 3 moves, 40 reps each move, stretch a little bit, go about your day. It's impossible to say you can't do that. You just don't want to, but it would be impossible for you to say you can't do that because it literally only takes like 3 to 4 minutes for you to do those things. Maybe 5 minutes tops. So get you a physical regimen. Next is your sleep. I know we all working, we all grinding, but days you can get to bed early, get to bed earlier. Days you need to be up late, I understand. Make sure you take a nap sometime during that day. Even if it's on your lunch break, you got to break it down a half, 30-minute nap, 30 minutes of food, you back at it. But make sure you're getting that proper sleep or at least napping. Next is it's gonna be tough. Stop abusing alcohol and smoking. You know? I know people come on here and be like moderation. To be honest, your Uncle Jojo is a wino. Your Aunt Larisha is an alcoholic on both your parents' side. You probably shouldn't be drinking as much as you do. You might only need to drink on your birthday and at some company celebration. Keep it at 2 times a year. Think because it is your goal to master your family plagues on your own time. So if you see if you got that alcohol demon on your father's side and your mother's side of the family, who are you to think you're gonna be better than the people that's already alcoholics? You know what I mean? That came from a harder generation than you, and like you're gonna survive and thrive, out thrive them in that. The goal for you would be just to avoid it. Same thing was like anybody else. You know, you got crackhead over there, drug addict over here. Stay off of it. Your addiction level is into your gene, and then you could be the first one to really break that gene curse. That might be, snubbing your family or hawking your family. Well, for whatever reason, could be some karmic debt, or y'all just picked that up, and that just became a social norm to get over things. But either way, easy on the alcohol. It dries up your brain. It literally is drying up your brain. And the sleep that you think you get from it is not the sleep that you get from just having like a glass of water, flossing, throwing a mouthwash in your mouth and spitting it out and then going to bed. Doing a little meditation and then going to bed. So you get your proper REM. Alcoholic sleep it's like a wild wave pattern. You're up, you're down, etc., etc. So be careful of the alcohol, even in the so-called moderation. I just think a lot of people need to maybe even do it seasonally, if anything. So I would say 2 to 4 times a year. Just learn to enjoy yourself without all the hyper drinking. Save your kidneys, save your kidneys and preserve your liver. Just a thought, just a thought. Next is no smoking. We know what smoking do. Fire in the lungs. You can't breathe, so it's gonna affect your physical regimen. And just stop abusing coffee. Gotta stop. But you can stop abusing coffee by getting your proper sleep, eating the proper foods. Most importantly, socializing correctly. Sometimes we still be thinking we're 20 and we need to be outside 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Technically, after a certain age, and this is somebody, all I did was club from Monday to Sunday. And I did that, and I really prided myself on doing that for like 2 years straight. Some days I didn't even go to sleep. I was just partying, put the Gucci sneakers on, we out. And long story short, I enjoyed every moment of it. But like I said, it was a moment. I was still 5 o'clock in the morning, come in, jump, take a cold shower. I would still go do my jogging, still go do my martial training, tired as hell. I just didn't miss training, right? So I was grinding on both ends. But if all you doing is that, you hypersexing yourself out here, you're in bad business. You're in real bad business. You're making your brain fog so much you just won't be able to think of the next idea, and that's gonna stop you from making your money and just growing your money and your investments, right? And once again, stop abusing coffee. It dehydrates you. I don't know who told you that you need 3-4 cups of coffee, but I will tell you this. If one cup ain't getting you through and your tolerance is so high and the espresso doesn't get you through, your tolerance is so high, that's a problem. He said, you have a problem. You have a problem. And you got to do the things to correct that situation. Because all of us need to be seeking, natural joys, natural ups, our ability to be like I woke up today so amped up, like so amped up and ready to go. It's just crazy. I just been drinking water and coconut water, and I wish that same joy I have when I get up, I wish that for you too. So, in conclusion, about to drop, Monday jump off book list. So, check it out. I think everybody should read the autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley. Meditations, Marcus Aurelius. As a Man Thinketh, James Allen. 1984, George Orwell. Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. Grant, Ron Chernow. Needful Things, Stephen King. The Kabbalion, The Three Initiates. Book of Five Rings, Miyamoto Musashi. The Count of Monte Cristo, Alexandre Dumas. Of Water and Spirit, Malidoma Somé. Sapiens, Yuval Harari. Endurance, Alfred Lansing. Titan, Ron Chernow. Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins. And Good Anxiety by Dr. Wendy Suzuki. So there you have it. I think those books add a lot to your life, a lot to your spirit, and just add that proper motivation to you. Just gonna end us with a nice quote, and then I'm gonna go about my day on this day. Quote is such: think of the life you have lived as over, and as a dead man or woman, see what's left as a bonus and live according to that nature. Love the hand that fate had dealt you, and play it as your own, for what could be more fitting. Yeah. Life gives us all cards, but know that you got to play your own cards. And I hope you play those cards well. Most importantly, I hope the fact that you love the cards that you were dealt in this lifetime, and you make a good hand of it, and you don't do too much comparison, and you don't do too much jealousy, and I hope you never ever experience envy in your heart for anybody. So, I like to say this: you're the king, queen of your life. Put your best foot forward, as always. And I'll see everybody next week. This has been a Monday Jump Off. number 172. Peace.